Daisy's a good hunting dog. She's a good duck dog, good pheasant dog. She actually thinks that's where we're going. She's going to be disappointed when it looks like people are just taking pictures of her. She won't know how to react. She'll think, okay, this is all good, but where's the field? Where's the water? We have a friend, Jan Folk, who has started, an organization, something I've never even thought about, but once I heard about it, it made so much sense. It's called Orange Dog, and it's designed to save animals, and I think that Americans, Canadians, they have a love affair, as anyone around the world do, with dogs, and we know that we're losing dogs. They're being euthanized at an astounding rate. In California alone, we know that 500,000 dogs a year are put down. And Jan just half saint, half nut, half entrepreneur, but absolutely committed to the idea of saving dogs and bringing them to Canada. And it was just kind of a big light going on. You're kidding? We could do that, and together with shelters in Canada and in California, she brought these people together, people who love animals and don't want to see what happens to them, and thought of a way to save them. And so, out of her own pocket, she's been funding this kind of underground railroad, if you will. I mean, it's all above board for sure, through her own expense, and is saving dogs and bringing small dogs to Canada, finding owners who want them. And she's made, I think, 3 or 4 trips. I think the first trip she took 50 plus dogs. The second trip, I think she took 115 dogs, all on this plane. So you can imagine this luxury 5-star piece of transportation just filled with animals going to get a second chance at life. And I don't think there's anybody that couldn't love this story, this idea, this organization called Orange Dog. And so I'm asked to do a lot of things, and all usually very, very worthy. And why I have chosen to support Orange Dog, I can't really speak to it other than it spoke to my heart. The idea that, the last dog that we saved, that we brought to Canada in 2 hours, was going to be euthanized. And believe it or not, before it made it to Canada, the pilot adopted the dog. So, there are so many organizations that do so much good work, and who would go to the top of the list? It would be hard to imagine which group that would be, but I don't think the list would be complete now unless Orange Dog was on it.
His work for a cause is amazing, and the fact that he was willing to bring Orange Dog into his fold, that was pretty exciting.
That kind of grassroots organization, that kind of can-do spirit, is something that's kind of an underdog type of charity I have a tendency to root for and support. We just had a little girl named Grace, and so I have 3 little ones, and we'll probably be bringing puppies into their lives so that they can kind of learn those first kind of lessons of responsibility and taking care of a pet, loving it, feeding it, and it's pretty great to see kids. And because we live on acreage, I also feel a lot safer when my dogs are around my children. Well, dogs are quieter than newborns, so but last night the dog was on with the 2 littlest ones, who were 3 and 1, and kind of right in the middle of them, keeping them warm. It's easy to identify problems, whether they're political, financial, whatever, and the world is filled with people who talk about what problems are, and the idea of these animals trying to find a home is a problem. But it always takes somebody who just steps up, who's a solver. And that's what Jan is, and that's what Orange Dog is about. So anybody who would contribute to Orange Dog financially, or anybody who would actually take an animal, is part of the solve. And a solve that happens it's something that occupies her mind 24/7. She's arranged these freedom flights first class, and it's coming out of her pocket. I hope that the Canadians and Americans alike support Jan, and she won't have to do this personally, that this can be a collective win for animals and for our own psyche.